What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala. It is the third podcast of our thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the most hot topics, the newsworthiest affairs with a touch of what, Terence?
With a touch of something that I think is called really funny, called humor. I was just carrying on how you seem to be skirting around.
Stumbling.
Yeah, the main thing. So I was just carrying on the track.
What did I skirt around? You mean skirt around or stumble?
Stumble. Yeah.
Yeah lah. Then what skirt around?
Beating around the bush about.
Don't try and butter up. If I stumble, if I stumble, just say stumble.
But speaking of stumble, actually this podcast was not meant to be like this. It was not meant to be remote. But something happened.
Certain developments.
What happened, Haresh? What happened?
On last Sunday night, which was the 30th of May, I got a call from at first I thought it was a scam call because it was a number that wasn't saved, and I was like, oh shit, it was at dinner time, like 8 p.m.
Yep.
And I got a call, and then it was an actual person who started off by saying, excuse me, am I speaking to Haresh Terence? I was like, yeah. So then I proceeded to be informed that delivery that had been made to my house for a bed frame on the 24th of May was unfortunately delivered by someone who recently tested positive. Yeah, so what happened was
positive for COVID lah, COVID-19.
COVID. Yeah, correct, okay. COVID. Yeah, I mean, in case someone listens to this episode 2 years down the road, tested positive could mean many things.
Yeah.
Yes, tested positive for COVID. And what had happened was the person delivered the bed frame on the 24th, and because the headboard was a mismatch, he came back on the 25th. But I was only at home on the 24th. My girlfriend was at home on the 24th and 25th.
Yep.
So then after that, I was told to await further investigation. Then my girlfriend got a call, hearing the same message, but she was told additionally that because she had spent more time based on the trace together tracking in the proximity of someone who tested positive, she was going to be under quarantine notice. So the call happened at like 8. She got a follow-up call at like 9 plus saying, okay, you will be picked up either by midnight tonight or tomorrow morning. By 10 o'clock, she got a call that, okay, she'll be picked up in half an hour. And yeah, by midnight, she was in a hotel being quarantined.
Wow. How does it feel to have gone through?
I mean, it was a bit surreal because it all happened so fast, and part of me was like, oh fuck. I mean, that was not ideal, but holy shit, it's efficient, right?
And this is the reality for a lot of people already, right? I'm sure it's not for most people listening. This is probably not the first quarantine story you've heard, but for me, this is the closest I've come to someone I know almost getting quarantined and everything.
Yeah. And I guess, like, for people coming back to Singapore, it's almost like, okay, you expect the quarantine. I don't know. You expect the stay-home notice. Yeah. But this one, I guess... Sorry, it wasn't Sunday. It was Monday because my girlfriend had just finished live streaming a yoga class. Because now she teaches from our home because her studio is doing live streaming. So it seemed like a regular day. We were trying to socially distance as much as we can without going out too much. But when this happened, it was a bit surreal. And I mean, of course, I was thinking like, oh, fuck, if, you hear this is for someone being whisked away to be quarantined, but there are cases out there where people get whisked away after they fall sick, and then, they never come back, which fucking is scary as fuck. But then since then, the weird thing is she went for a test on Tuesday morning, a swab test, and we are recording this on Friday, and she has yet to find out the results.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So at first, I was like, oh shit, like they are fucking efficient. To now, it's like, wait. Does this mean that she's more than likely negative? Because if she was positive, I'm sure I would have been called to be quarantined somewhere.
Yeah. Right?
So, and the questions, like, she keeps asking, and when I got a call from MOH to do a swab test tomorrow, I asked, and they said, okay, no, not from MOH, from Certis. The thing is that, we just have to wait because apparently the testing centers are all, like, swamped. Overwhelmed. But then when I asked tomorrow when I go for the test, how soon will I know the results? They said 24 hours, at most 3 days. Then when I asked them, what about my girlfriend? And she said, okay, can't speak for her case, but might just have to wait. So in my mind, I don't know how to rationalize this. And part of me is like, okay, is it because she's going to be in a room till the 8th of June at least? So they know that, okay, she doesn't need to know the status of her results because she's not going anywhere. As long as she's not positive, we'll let her know at some point. Whereas for me...
what's she going to do? Run around and infect nobody?
Yeah. And then I guess for me tomorrow, because I'm being summoned from my house and I need to go and take public transport, which, I mean, the past week I haven't really gone anywhere besides for like a walk downstairs away from everyone. So if I'm going to take public transport, do the test, come back, it makes sense that I should know as soon as possible if I'm positive or negative. So, I don't know, so I can understand like the optimization of resources and efficiency, but it's a bit weird, eh?
Yeah, I think your experience is probably not unique. I think, I also heard very similar cases of other people who were quite confused about the whole stay-home notice and quarantine thing. Like, are quite surprised by what's going on. But I guess, like what you said, like maybe it is just being overwhelmed right now, and you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, our medical services are faring a lot better than in a lot of other countries. So as long as no positive case is running around or being asked to take public transport across the island to get a test done, then I think it's still okay lah. I mean, it's a bit inconvenient for you lah, unfortunately, but
I mean, inconvenient for me in the grander scheme of things. I think it's fine. The more annoying thing is people who I've been in contact with the past week or so, just because of work and all, messaging me in the morning, hey, how's test results got it or not? And by that, I mean you lah.
It's out of concern, dude. It's out of concern. I'm only concerned.
Out of concern
but
for her, me, or for you?
For everyone. But hand on your heart. You've been socially distancing properly and everything, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay lah, then well, nothing to feel scared about lah. It should be fine lah.
Oh no, I'm not scared. I'm just thinking that because over the past week, we did have some of my family came over to my house. Of course, either just one person, and if they have come in contact and I have come in contact with that person, it's just these sort of things that play in your head lah.
Yeah, I've come in contact with you since the day as well. But I think. But in this case, I guess the sucky thing is that someone came to your house, right? As opposed to you all going out somewhere. So it's nobody's fault. I guess it just happens. But
I mean, even the delivery dude, he was overworked, man. Holy shit!
I'm sure he was.
He was overworked, and I felt so bad for him. I don't think he had lunch or breakfast when he came to deliver the stuff, which also means that he had been to a lot of houses, lah.
And that probably contributes to getting COVID as well, right? When your immune system is compromised and everything. Yeah. So tough, man. Take your vitamins. Say your prayers. It's you got to stay healthy.
But I'm curious, if anyone else has had similar experiences, because I know one of your first message was tell her to record everything, be like Jade Rasif did, and I didn't even respond because fuck you lah. Okay, that's the last thing on my mind.
Why? It's important, right? Record everything.
No, because I mean, already it was a bit like.
And to clarify, I didn't mean record everything in a bureaucratic. Keep paperwork kind of way. I meant record everything do
for
a
the
vlog,
gram, is it?
Do a vlog, do a vlog and then do your Instagram live and everything. Yeah.
For me or for my girlfriend?
Both.
So then you assume that everybody loves to do vlogs and be on Instagram live, is it?
No, it's not about love, but sometimes duty calls. You need to be the upright citizen, and then show the world what's going on.
See, now you are virtue signaling.
No, I'm not.
Because in your free time, you're always the upright citizen, is it?
No. What I'm saying is that if there are lapses, which we saw from the Jade Rasif case, right? It would be good if there was some corroborating evidence of these lapses, So I mean, whether it's entertaining is another thing, but that being able to capture these lapses and having as much detail as possible is important lah, just for your credibility lah.
But that's why it'd be cool to hear from other people who maybe have had interactions or similar experiences. Because it's one of those things that I don't know how many people share about, but it's just interesting. and I was just surprised by certain aspects of it.
And to clarify why we brought this up is because, like I said, today wasn't meant to be a remote podcast. We were supposed to do an interview with the director of The Amazing Showman, the series that just came out on MeWatch. But because of all this and the fact that, Haresh may be compromised and all that, so we said, okay, let's postpone it lah. It's just the reality of life now lah. As they say, COVID Indeed. Is going to be endemic. It might be endemic going forward, So, but yeah, we'll still do what we always do, which is dissect the latest current affairs. And we have a quite interesting and relevant first topic to us today. Because we were supposed to talk about TV shows and all that. So the first topic is also related to a TV show. And what is this topic about?
Well, this topic is about a recent post made by one of the stars of the Canadian sitcom called Kim's Convenience. It was by future Marvel star Simu Liu. Simu Liu. And it coincided with the release of season 5 on Netflix. And he posted that he's feeling a host of emotions, primarily because the season is not going to be renewed for a 6th season, even though it got a green lit to be renewed. But at the last minute, one of the show creators pulled out, then another person pulled out, and the network decided to just end it after the 5th season. And then Simo proceeded to share across 7 points about how the show can't be saved because it was not cancelled, and I say cancelled in air quotes because the ratings were poor or anything. It was doing fucking well, apparently. But about how he was getting frustrated with the direction of the show, the direction of his character, and just the pay of the actors not coinciding with the popularity of the show, and generally, I think some sentiments that he felt very badly, very sad about for the show.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, the representation and lack of diversity in the writer's room also came up.
Yeah, and it turns out that alongside the cancellation of Kim's Convenience, there's going to be a spin-off based on one of the characters. And in fact, it's based on the only character that is white in the show.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, the woman who plays his boss in the show. So
yeah, exactly.
I guess that added insult to injury. And I think there's also going to be another spin-off of his roommate who is Asian. So that one wouldn't be too. No, I don't know whether it's a spin-off or it's just an entire separate series that's not related But at least someone gets a whole season of a show after that
I mean, all I read was that it was going to be a show called Strays based on the Shannon character. But you mean there's one more?
Shannon is the white boss,
the boss
right? No, yeah. So that's the
boss.
spin-off. But apparently they also greenlit another series that I don't think is related to Kim's Convenience. Of his, his starring his roommate.
I see.
I can't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, he's the goofy roommate that he lives with in the show.
Okay.
So I think you can read.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of details that he goes into, and it's quite you can tell it's quite heartfelt But we're here just talking about it more broadly as having been in the industry as well, and knowing that a lot of people also watch Kim's Convenience here in Singapore, right? Yeah. So what are your? Sorry, what are you gonna say?
No, for full disclosure, how much of Kim's Convenience have you seen, or what do you know of it?
Just by coincidence, I just started watching season 1, this past couple of weeks. So just for this to suddenly come on the news was quite a surprise to me Yeah. How about you?
I literally just watched the pilot of season 1 this past Tuesday.
And why do you happen to do that?
Because it was a show that I think I can watch with my mom.
Yeah.
Because I always like to have a show that I can watch with my mom, just so there's some time that we can spend together outside of dinner or whatever.
So yeah,
yeah.
I because there was that Friends reunion thing, so I just happened to be looking around for something that can just be watched by just like, you sit down and just watch it, and you don't really need to follow some long big story and everything lah.
Yeah, like a light-hearted, easy watch. Right? And it's 21 minutes, Nowadays, you hardly find shows that are 21, 22 minutes.
Exactly. And it's and all that. So, but just in a nutshell, don't go into too much detail. What do you like it or do you not like it or what?
I liked the topic that they talked about in the pilot, around homophobia and all that. But I just thought that it wasn't that funny lah.
Okay. For me, the pilot didn't really do it for me, but I think it gets better over the season. As in, then you start to see more stories about the family dynamics and things like that, and that's where it's more interesting lah. But it's just, it's not something that I will sit down and just blaze through like season after season lah. I'll probably like do it bit by bit if I don't feel like watching anything too serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
why did you want to talk about this? Or like, okay, what did you feel when you saw his post?
I mean, yeah, so that's what we're here to discuss lah. Is this just a disgruntled, entitled, now Hollywood actor just bitching about his producers, burning the bridges with his producers? Or is this a hero of Asian representation speaking up for how Asian actors are not valued in the Hollywood system or whatever Canadian broadcast system or whatever lah, on which end of the spectrum do you stand? That's what I wanted to also ask.
Yeah, I mean, he did say and he did admit that he did certain things throughout the show that maybe was not the best lah. In the sense that he was very passionate, but he was also very insecure at some point. And he said his actions reflected on his own insecurities at the time. It was buoyed. How the fuck do you pronounce Buoyed?
Boyd.
Oh, not Boyd.
I mean, it's boy what?
Boyd.
Like a life boy. A life
boy.
But I'm sure call it boy if you want to. I mean, you already say omelette. Since you say omelette, might as well say. You must well invent your own language at this rate.
Did I used to say life boy or life boy?
It's life
I think
boy,
I used to say life boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so but it was buoyed by things that happen in real life. Nomination snubs, decreasing screen time, and losing out on opportunities that were given to other cast members lah. So I mean, when I read this, I also felt a bit of both. Okay, because the reason is we have thankfully gotten the opportunity to produce a few shows by now, a few TV shows where we were commissioned to produce, and also we had to work with a network and find something that works across all stakeholders involved, right?
Yeah, and we've done the full shebang, writing,
full shebang.
Directing,
full shebang.
Producing without
Pitching,
directing. Haresh has acted, I've directed, but I've also just like been the exec producer, talking to director, and being on set solving problem stuff. And so we've really seen the whole thing, even post production as well. We've seen the whole thing.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like that's why I'm hoping that more things come out from the side of the network or the producers or executive producers, because it feels like his animosity is towards the people who were making the higher level decisions, because he did say the cast and crew, they were really tight. They did have, like, I think he mentioned that with the cast they didn't always get along or something, but that everyone was very passionate about the show because the show did get very popular. So I don't know, like I see this and it's hard for me to go like, oh, you go, dude, because it's a one-sided thing.
Yeah. I mean, for me is, I mean, one thing about watching Kim's Convenience is that it is quite, I mean, there's a few things struck me when I watched it. Wow, all Asian, all Korean cast, right? In an American show, or not American, but North American show, which was quite surprising. And the fact that it's not even in America, it's actually a Canadian show, right? So I mean, you want to talk about minority, is like Asian Canadians, that's probably an even smaller minority, right, than Asian American. But it's been universally held up as an example of Asian representation in entertainment. But yeah, at this stage, what I'm hearing, I mean, they're accusing all the producers of being all white and like insensitive to the. But at the same time, these are the producers who basically brought the show to fruition for 5 seasons straight. So, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of gratitude for that as well, I feel. And I also say this because I feel like the producer within the film or TV context, the producer is always the one who probably has to handle the most shit and gets the least kudos lah, right, when the show is out and everything, because the producer essentially is balancing between the creative wants of the director, the showrunners, everything, but also with the business needs of the project, like the budget, the availability of actors and crew and stuff like that. So the producer's job is very delicate balancing act. I think especially more so when a show goes from something like like no one's heard of it, then it becomes an overnight hit lah, right? A hit not only in Canada but across the world. There's such that there are a lot of fans, even in Singapore as well. So yeah, I mean, I feel this one feels very like he's attacking the producers, and we don't, like you said, we don't really know the full story. But I tend to err on the side of a lot of people want to shit on the producers because that's the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah, and I mean, he also said that in his post that he feels that the co-creator showrunner, Ins Choi. So basically, for people who might not be familiar with the term showrunner, the showrunner, you can create a show, but the showrunner is the person who makes every decision from top to bottom. Like he's almost like the CEO almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Say, yeah.
So the CEO, and I mean that's how it works in Hollywood lah. You're not just the writer, you are the showrunner. So even the makeup person or the wardrobe person might come to you and say, okay, this is the look we're thinking for this character. And okay, so he said that the showrunner Ins Choi was not doing enough to be a champion for diverse television talent lah. So that's where I feel like really is he not, I don't know, like that's quite a big statement lah. And Simu did say that Choi did not, upon leaving the series, Choi did not leave a protege, a Padawan learner, or another Korean showrunner who could have filled his shoes lah. And that's when I'm like, okay, there might be a lot of other things to consider lah. And the reason, just talking about this reminded me of one big learning that I got from the HBO show back in 2016. I don't know if I ever told you this. But basically there was this one day, right, where as an actor we were all there for 12 hours lah. We get our call time, we get our end time, and it was one of the biggest scenes with the most number of background actors, and it was a lot of coordination lah. There was stuntmen and all that. So some of the actors were getting a bit angsty about, okay, I was supposed to have my shoot for this time, it got pushed back. Then another person said, I only have a half an hour scene. Why do I have to be here for the 12 hours? Because the scenes kept getting reshuffled, and we kept hearing from the AD, the assistant director, who's like the sergeant major on set. I have to manage time. And the actors were getting disgruntled, and we were saying, maybe we should say something. So, yeah, because I was the lead actor, right? So it's almost like the lead actor is, I think it's easy. Okay, you speak on our behalf and all, and I also felt, maybe I should just find out what's going on. So I did actually talk to the producers, like, okay, well, what's the delay and all that. And at that point in time, I was like, okay lah, there were certain things being delayed, and it was just a tense situation throughout. But then that was me as an actor. By then we had not made our first TV show, right?
Yeah.
After making a TV show, right, and realizing, oh fuck, if you have a scene with like 120 people, there's gonna be so many screw ups.
Yeah.
And even if someone has a half an hour scene, 1 hour scene, you shut up and you fucking wait. So
I'm so glad the story ended like that.
I know, because it's so easy to be on the side of like the not just actor lah. Like I guess in any job, there'll be different facets lah, and there'll always be someone doing the work that is the more unglam thing, the coordination, the scheduling.
Yeah.
And when we did our first TV show, and holy shit, if it rains for half an hour, the amount of fucking shit that needs to be corrected and delays and all that, but it has to be done lah. But for maybe certain roles, you might only see the end product. So in this case, when I read his thing, I was like, wow, feels like feels like there could be a lot more that is not being disclosed from other people involved. Lah. Who knows? Maybe Ines Choi was fucking disappointed. Maybe he hated the direction of the 6th season and he was like, you know what, better quit while we are ahead.
No, I mean, I think the lead actor, Paul Lee, is it Paul?
Appa, right? Appa.
The Appa.
The father, the father.
The father, he also, I think he said in an interview that basically the Ines Choi was just burnt out, just overworked already. And then I can totally imagine why as well. I mean, creating 5 to 6 seasons of a show is no joke also. And being like the only Korean writer there, this is really his story, right? So putting himself out there for like 5 to 6 years is really no joke. But I'm just trying to imagine what you're saying just now, and like when you went to like speak up for the actors or that, were you like, was there like someone like walking behind you carrying your bag and an umbrella to shield you from the sun?
Fuck lah, okay.
As you walk out to the producer.
That umbrella analogy, this is like your cycling analogy, you know. There is a reason why an actor walks under an umbrella when it's sunny. Because you fucking change your skin color, you have to put on more makeup, you sweat, your clothes have pit stains. So shut the fuck up on that, okay?
Oh, just hear the vitriol in his voice and defending the umbrella that was shielding him from the UV rays of the sun.
On our set, we also gave the actors umbrellas, okay? Because if they have something that there's some sweat stain and all, it causes a problem, and you know that. Right?
No, the only thing is I think most of them carried it themselves, lah. Yours, I think.
No.
They had the budget to hire someone to carry for you, lah. Right?
Oh yeah, that's true, lah. That's true. I had a PA, lah.
We didn't have the budget. We didn't have the budget for that.
That was pretty awesome. Ours was here's your umbrella. Yeah. You do what you want with it.
If you fuck up, it's your fault. But this one is like you can scream at someone. But
exactly.
So I think this topic is about. I mean, the corporate world, they say whether you hate your job or you're quitting a job and you're serving notice or whatever, they say, sayings always don't burn bridges also, right? In a sense, like, just do your job until the very last day that you're employed. And then, if you are disgruntled about it, I guess it's, try to move on also, right? Don't spend too much time harboring on the past and the negatives and trying to lobby people, unless there's a real call to action that you're asking for. So that's why I felt like this one was like, it was like so angry, and there was no real call to action, because even he himself said that there's nothing to save in this show, right? When I say call to action, I mean like, how when Netflix cancels certain shows sometimes, and then the fans, they get very riled up and everything, then they will like set up some petition to bring back Kim's Convenience, and some other network will buy over the show and then do another season on their network and stuff like that, right? At least there's like a real call to action, and there's a real like
the Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? Exactly. I think The Expanse also, I think had that as well, right? If I'm not wrong, or was it Sense8? I can't remember. But so this one, whereas it just felt like, this is how I felt as an actor on set. It was horrible, and stop Asian hate, that kind of thing. We need better representation. So like, he's conflating a lot of different things, like his own disappointment with the producers or whatever, with representation. Because I mean, if anything, I think Kim's Convenience offered a lot of opportunities for representation, right? Whether or not the characters grew and everything, that could be more to do with like the actual storytelling skill and process and everything, right? And not so much about there's no process where over time as an actor you grow into, you must have a say into how your character grows and everything like that, right? Of course, as producers or directors or that, you do try and take in feedback, or you do listen to feedback, but ultimately there is a larger story at play that you're also trying to stick to, a larger vision, right? And if that character doesn't fit that vision, then you're not going to change that character for that, right? So I just read the whole thing and felt like, wow, it's so sad. This guy is just like shitting on the people who also helped to pull him up. I don't know about the pay issues, maybe the pay issues or something, but ultimately, that's something that I think can still be worked out, behind doors, right? Behind closed doors. contract issues and stuff like that. But everything that he's out here, I feel is like, it's burning the bridges, lor.
So if there was really an issue, then how could he have done it better in a way that is not so one-sided? Maybe it's one of those things that he knows he's not going to get the producers or anyone to speak publicly, and he wants to kickstart the discussion. But how could he do it without coming across like this, lah? Because we do know that the media industry can be fucked up, right? And if there really were issues, if he had to speak out and be the first one, maybe he's hoping other people will come out. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe also the fact that it comes out at this point when season 5 is out as well, right? And rather than celebrating the show, in its final season or whatever, maybe giving it a bit of time, lah. I feel like there's always a bit of decorum and all that when you don't want to sabotage the show's performance on Netflix or anything also, lah, right? Because that's doing yourself a disservice as well. Let's say people boycott season 5 because unless you bring back season 6 or something like that, lah, right? Then you're kind of self-sabotaging. So I just felt like whatever he said or did here just kind of just added more fuel to the fire already. And not in a good way, lah, in a very like non-constructive way.
But if you think,
maybe okay, just to answer your question directly, maybe he's going to be in a very big Marvel movie in the future. Maybe at that point in time, it might be if someone does ask about it, then it might be a time to actually bring it up, lah, right? Because then at least the dust has settled a little bit. Everyone has a bit more perspective. The show has really finished its season 5, right? And I say finished meaning, the cast has managed to do all the necessary to promote the show and stuff like that. Because that's all part of the whole thing, right? Distribution, marketing as well. Whereas this one's in the mid, they're like smack them, or even right before the release on Netflix, he was already like flaming the show's producers and everything, lah.
But if you think about it, right now, the way he worded his message, it does really tug at the emotions of people who are super passionate about diversification and like inclusivity and a show with Asian representation. So the more like we talk about it, the more I realize maybe his goal is for another network to pick it up, because we have seen that happen, right? And what better time to do it than the start of the season when people are aware of it. Think about how many articles have been written on this. We in Singapore are talking about a Canadian show.
Yeah.
Why not do it now? And if the show does well, because discussions for if you imagine certain shows, sometimes they are renewed even before it debuts, right? We have seen that before. Even before the show is launched, it generates so much hype that the network commissions it for the next season. So maybe that's his goal. Maybe he's saying, yo guys, I'm going to be in a fucking Marvel movie that's going to come out soon. If you're a network out there, we want to be a champion of Asian representation and all, pick up this damn show, man. Then you still have some breathing way to work on the 6th season, and the time is fucking now. For all we know, right, maybe he's getting like DMs from like don't know the who's who of Hollywood wanting to pick up the show.
Yeah, there is a possibility, lah. But at the same time, if you are the next producer, you are the next showrunner or producer of Kim's Convenience season 6, right? You're gonna be shaking your pants, as you call this guy as well, because
now he's in
now you're in his crosshairs, right?
No, and what's his Marvel superhero name?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So he's no longer like Jung from Kim's Convenience, no.
No, yeah, I know. But he's a big Hollywood star, and that he could possibly like just pull a social media stunt on you and just and say all the bad shit about you, air all your dirty laundry in public, lah, right?
But at the same time, with his clout and pull, if you imagine any networks that picks up Kim's Convenience for 6th season, right? You know how much traction and how much love they'll get.
That's true.
Yeah, they'll fucking love it. Like you look at Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think within 30 hours, 30 hours NBC picked it up.
Yeah.
Because there was a social media campaign launched by the fans, and in 30 hours, a whole other network picked it up, and they've made 3 seasons since.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe he was the appointed one, like you were the appointed one to go and ask the difficult questions, to rock the boat, right? Yeah, there is that possibility, and maybe us discussing it is the whole point of this whole thing, But that said, I still do feel that some of the stuff that he's worded in there is just a bit. I mean, it's we're hearing only from one side, and it feels a bit unfair to the producer, regardless,
Yo, Shang-Chi is going to come and kick your ass, man.
Yeah. and I think he also closed the door on possibly reprising his role in the spin-off and everything as well, right? So it kind of like there's almost an ultimatum where they can't rebrand it as the starring the two of them or anything like that, right?
I mean, the Appa, that character, he did also say in his interview that he's very happy with how Simu Liu has grown, and he said when he went to shoot the Marvel show, he came back and he just was a lot more confident. So maybe it's that Marvel confidence that is giving him the belief to be a fight for justice and fight for representation, which to me also that's a whole other thing, once you feel like you are the appointed champion, okay, great, but when he kind of shot In's Choi and threw him under the bus by saying he feels he's not doing enough for the Asian, he fucking created a show and
he's Asian,
world famous.
He's the freaking Asian showrunner. What more do you need? And even if he was commanding a whole room of white people, he was the leader, right?
Yeah, that's why. I think that is the thing that turned me off the most. I'm like, yo, this guy casted you, and he created a show that ran for 5 seasons and made you a world star. Not to say that just because he did good things, you are indebted to him, but I was like, wow, okay, that's a kind of throwing under the bus.
But I mean, we've had we say that, but we also on our own sets, we've also had our differences with people that we thought we would hire and would be giving opportunities and things like that also, right? So to us we see it that way, but to them they may see it as I'm giving you an opportunity, to fucking work with me, like Simu Liu. I'm a fucking Marvel Hollywood star. You're just you're just fucking sitting behind a desk writing a script, I'm giving you giving you a chance to be my mentor, So
interesting.
Hard to say, and it could be it's a very big discussion, but it could be a generational difference as to why we're viewing it differently as well, right?
I mean, earlier this week I saw that Naomi Osaka, that's her name. She's taking a break.
No, she pulled out of the French Open.
She pulled out
because initially she put out a statement saying that she was not going to attend any press conferences because of mental health during this French Open. So she really followed through on that, and after her first match she did not turn up for a press conference. Then she was fined, and then subsequently she couldn't come to any kind of agreement going forward for the rest of the tournament. So she announced her decision to pull out .
Yeah. So I'm sure also the organizers are like, whoa, we've never had this before.
Yeah. So generational differences.
Maybe it is. Maybe I mean, Simu Liu is not super young, he's 32 right?
Okay.
He's not super young, but it just, I mean, it just feels like maybe in a few days' time we should make a wager whether or not it's going to be picked up by another network. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, some elaborate.
But we haven't
plan.
watched. Yeah, we haven't watched anything beyond the first season. I haven't watched anything beyond the first pilot, but I know so many people have spoke good about it that it must be at least decent. Even though Brooklyn Nine-Nine, while I love Andy Samberg, I could never get into it. I feel this might be something similar. It's an easy watch, but I don't know how deep I can get into it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But that does lead us to the other topic of the day, which is it's also about a broken down relationship between someone of great influence and someone who promises to fund the person's dreams and everything, or promised to fund the person's dreams. This is a very fresh developing story, so excuse us if whatever we speak about for the next 10 to 15 minutes is not the most up to date when you listen to this lah. And what is that story, Haresh?
It is the story around a streamer / influencer in Singapore called KiaraaKitty. And just hot off Reddit and a converted Instagram page. Apparently there's there's a leaked audio clip of KiaraaKitty speaking to what people are saying is her boyfriend, where she recounts how before she became like a full-time streamer, full-time influencer, she scammed 7 guys by kind of manipulating them emotionally, like leading them on and just fucking being so proud and unapologetic that she scammed them, like one of them of like $30,000. So
I think to clarify, when you say scam, that's in her own words. She said scam.
Yeah. Correct.
I think the big sticking point is whether it's really even a scam or is it just basically just emotionally manipulating someone to give money, right?
Exactly. And it almost feels like there's I guess that's what we need to talk about, the difference between emotional manipulation and scamming, or are they one and the same? Because in the video that's about 14 minutes long, there hasn't been any huge rebuttals of whether or not that's her or not. So assuming it is her, and there's a lot of things she says, by her own words, that she scammed 7 guys, and through quite manipulative ways, like telling the one guy that she had some stone
kidney
or thing that's growing in her kidney, and that she needs treatment. And then the reason she gave another guy who she didn't allow to touch her for 2 years was that her father had raped her and that she's not ready. And she said stuff like, she knew that his father had died and he only had his mom and he was very vulnerable. So she kind of exploited that, and listening to it, fuck, dude, it was fucking disturbing.
No, yeah, I think she even really explains why she felt little to no remorse in manipulating these guys, because she herself, I think she said that she was bullied or manipulated when she was younger, so she felt like, why not just she has the skills to do it, so why not just do it to people that she knows are easily manipulated, and I think the term that she even threw out herself is incels, right? Which is essentially guys who usually are very into video games or the internet and don't really spend a lot of time outside, meeting people or talking to girls, and generally are very angry with are characterized to be very angry with their lot in life. Like, I'm such a nice guy, why the girls don't like me, that kind of thing, which is
involuntarily celibate. That's what it stands for.
The term is involuntarily celibate, and it's a sort of a culture where they sort of just commiserate with each other about being why girls don't like them and why girls like the good looking guys that they call chads and everything. So I think that the incel term was, a couple of years back, it was gained a lot of traction because there were literally like terrorist attacks by incels in Canada or something. I think someone drove a van and ran into people saying that he was doing an incel revolution or something. So I'm guessing that's her target market last time also lah. But just to go back again, why should anyone give a shit about this topic actually?
That was honestly what I was thinking when you suggested it. I was like, Terence, why the fuck you want to talk about this?
I suggested it. You suggested it. Hello.
Oh no. Okay, I suggested it. But when we did our ranking, you ranked it a lot higher than me lah.
Correct.
And I was like, fuck, dude. I would like to talk about this other topic that I shortlisted, where people are lobbying for UK bosses to be banned from sending emails after working hours.
I fell asleep before you even finished a sentence already. That's why we're talking about this, because it's exciting.
No, so
it's provocative.
The more I dug deep, the more I just found this interesting lah. But I still, if you ask me why people should give a shit, I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
Why should people give a shit to you?
I mean it's another influencer expose kind of thing about, and it also exposes the darker side of this whole, like Twitch streaming and And how come guys like, you know, those guys, how come these influencers or streamers sometimes can get so much money from the audiences and all that, right? Because that's a question a lot of people ask. Wow, really can make so much money out? But yeah, you really can make a lot of money from.
But then the thing is, she scammed these people before she made it big on Twitch.
Yeah.
So to me, the bigger discussion is like whether or not, okay, so how she scammed these people would literally just tell them, you know, I need treatment or like, you know, I'm working 9 to 5 and I don't have enough and all that. And it would be over like 2 years. She herself said she would, for that 30K that she got, right, she would get it in like a few $100 a week. So it was kind of a long-term thing. And like you listen to her, she's very unapologetic, and she even said if the person goes to the police for a charge, like accusing her of a love scam, she will just say that he was my boyfriend, but he got pissed, and ultimately you gave me a loan, right? So what illegal thing did she do there? And that was what I found interesting, like that if the guys give it willingly, is she doing anything wrong?
Yeah, so actually this is an interesting topic also because remember our podcast about Harsh Dalal, the 19-year-old Forbes 30 under 30 guy who you know, allegedly his company and his investors all
scam
vaporware, right? So
yeah.
After we did that podcast, I had a couple of friends like come up to me and question what my stance was that he didn't actually do anything illegal, right? Like ultimately, I mean, maybe there was just no money raised or whatever. As long, I mean, to me it was like, or he took the media was taken for a ride, but they didn't do their homework also, right? But other than that, who is really going to report it to the police, you know, or anything like what's the? Whereas this one, I feel like, yeah, if you are telling people that you need money for surgery or something like that does feel like there's something there that feels off, like there might be some criminal thing involved when you're telling people that you need the money for something but actually you don't, and it's all a lie.
But I know we spoke about something in a previous podcast where the cleaner was kind of forced into a corner to pay like, I don't know, like thousands of dollars for some cosmetic stuff, right? But that one was, I mean, she was clearly not the most conversational in, let's say, that language or something like, and I think they were trying to corner her into, and like there was a physical element to it, you know, there was 3-on-1 in the shop, and all that. Whereas this one, I still think it's fucked up. I still think she's if everything that she said is true, it is totally fucked up and she is just disgusting. But wow, like I'm just trying to think of it like rationally. If you have a friend that you are just being a little dishonest to, and over the span of 2 years you get that money from that person who gives it to you willingly, what is the crux of that wrongdoing? Like, it feels fucking wrong to me, but what is it that's wrong? Just lying?
Yeah, actually maybe, you're right. Like, maybe there really is nothing, because we know there are a lot of cases of like people take loans and after that, you know, you don't hear from them and everything.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything.
Or you raise
right?
money for your business from friends and family. They trust you, but if you squander it all away, that's not illegal.
Yeah.
So that's why this was so interesting, because the debate, I mean, you see that thing online also, like, and she herself says, you know, did I do anything wrong? No, this I don't know whether she referred to them as simps, but people on like Reddit and EDMW and Hardware Zone do like simps is just a term for people for guys who are so kind of have themselves wrapped around the girl's finger.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
So it's quite sad if the guy really lost $30,000 to her.
Yeah. So I mean, then I see, she still uploaded a video like as of 6 days ago. So if that clip is real, and if that's her boyfriend listening to her and feeling like, you know, this girl is cool, I love her, I'm like, yo, first of all, like, what? Maybe you are going to be taken for a ride someday. But when I see her posting videos and, you know, other people collaborating with her and all that, I don't know how I feel because we have worked with some of the people that she is now doing videos with.
Oh, really?
You know?
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you look at her
I'm gonna check that
tweets
out.
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but at the same time, I also know that in the industry or in any job, like, if you see someone as a professional just doing their job, what they do in their own time is always like, fuck it, I just want to collaborate with you professionally.
Yeah.
We do it and then fuck off. Values all doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, wow, wow.
I mean, it's like we said, like maybe there really is just no criminal activity per se, but it's just if you know that this person, does this or did this before or allegedly did this before, do you want to so closely associate with that person, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's why OnlyFans and all have taken off, because it's almost given people who can sell their vulnerability or apparent trust and monetize that, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Because she I think in that clip and elsewhere, she's mentioned stuff like selling like a sex appeal or like just selling her personality, which, I mean, there are people making shit tons of money on OnlyFans, and kudos to them, as long as they're not doing anything illegal. If there are people who want to pay for, I don't know, a pic of their ass or something, is that wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Right?
Yeah, but I guess just talking about the incel and sim culture as well. Do you think that it's a very prevalent thing in Singapore? That there's a very big community of these guys?
I have no idea, but I will also say that I think in the years when I was single and not getting anywhere with women, I did feel like, fuck, I'm such a great guy. Why am I not getting any ass? Why? And I think, there was a certain element of like, you know what, fuck all these like bad boys and all this shit, I'm a nice guy. Of course, I always like check myself and realize, like there's like a stand-up comedian going to stage and just blaming the crowd.
Yeah.
So there's stuff you can work on yourself, and then after that I became a fucking catch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was gonna say, actually everything you said is very good until you just said that.
I said I just extinguished all my credibility.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? If you are saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm such a nice guy, why I just need to find someone who understands me," but nobody understands me. I think just check yourself in the mirror, right? There's a very different variations of what a nice guy is, and I mean, just because you think that what you do is nice doesn't necessarily mean everyone else thinks it's nice also, right? It's a very egocentric. It's a very egocentric view of the world, right? Like I'm a nice guy. That's why people should want to date me or whatever, right?
I mean, it's like if you make a YouTube video, and you think it's fucking amazing, but nobody watches it, nobody thinks it's good. Then for whatever reason, there might be a show. There might be the first people who watch it might not understand your brilliance, but if it happens over and over again, maybe there's something to tweak,
Yeah.
To tweak.
Yeah.
Or get it to the right people,
Yeah. But I mean, one of the tough things I feel now also is that because of social distancing and all the COVID, all these things, I mean, it's literally almost been over about a year and a half already, right? Where people have had to have much more distant relationships and it's much harder to meet new people and put yourself out there and everything, right? So I can see why, more and more young guys would be spending their time in front of computers or in front of their mobile phones, like, tipping a streamer rather than actually going out and what was I going to say? Tipping a stripper or something. We don't have that in Singapore, but
I mean, tipping a streamer and all that, I'm all for it. I guess it's just, I think like everyone is susceptible to being taken advantage of. You might think you're the smartest ass in the world. You might think you are the most like fucking sharpest guy or girl, but I think like the way, if you think your sharpness and all has evolved, so have the sharpness of people out there to con you and scam you. I guess one of the most eye-opening things of listening to the audio clip is that the fact that she's so unapologetic and so clear in her thought process that she did nothing wrong, right? To me, I think yeah, there are a lot of people who think that way. Even maybe if you talk to Harsh Dalal, right, he might be like, what did I do wrong? Did I do anything wrong? And in their mind, it makes sense. So I think that was like basically a wake up call to like, oh shit, there are a lot of people like that who exist in the world.
So you were surprised by this topic, lah.
Yes, I was surprised. I was very surprised.
You really were surprised.
I was.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare
This is
that
what
I'm
the world
surprised.
is,
And
Haresh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
not
God, I need to
surprised.
go and reflect.
I'm not surprised.
Because you're a pessimistic fuck. Right?
No, I mean, yeah, because I think last time I also used to get like conned a lot and everything, lah. And whether as pranks or paying extra for something that I didn't need to pay that much for and all that kind of thing. So it made
Like
me
what? Share lah.
like
share
durian.
one,
Like when you go and eat durian. Last time I go and bring
Ah.
my international foreigner friends to go and eat durian, and I end up paying a lot more than what I thought it would cost. And then they're like, well, yeah, it was on the sign that there's the whiskey, there's this durian has whiskey smell and everything, so it's very expensive. And I'm like, fuck off, lah, whiskey smell. I didn't smell no whiskey in my durian. And anyway, if you drink whiskey with durian, you probably die also. So it's like after this happens to you once or twice, and then when I was in France as well, I was like, oh, yeah, just making friends, and then next thing I know, I'm like being shown into this like little underground chamber in a castle, thinking that, oh fuck, if I go any further, I'm gonna die. And then I just turned around and ran off, lah. That kind of thing.
I see.
So once this kind of things happen to you once or twice, then you're like, oh fuck, you gotta be a lot more careful, lah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing that now that's the dangerous is that people are craving real human interaction so much and all, right?
Yeah.
Then when they get any kind of someone exposes a little bit of vulnerability online and all that, then they go all into it, lah.
Yeah.
Because it just gives them a sense of like maybe a purpose and everything. Jesus complex, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I think it is definitely something that's gonna develop over time, because there's this Instagram account called Our Fallen Warriors, which at first I thought, how the fuck did they get 90.1k followers overnight? But what happened was they actually changed it from a previous Instagram account and deleted everything and just focused their one post on this, lah.
Got it.
And they're using the hashtag Our Fallen Warriors for people who have been scammed by KiaraaKitty.
So, what advice you have for guys out there who are thinking that they're very nice guys and why girls don't like them and all that?
Start a YouTube channel, and then eventually a few years later, try and get into a TV show, and then start a podcast, and everything will work out.
Yeah, that was terrible advice. That was all terrible advice. Bro,
Why?
It was all terrible.
Why
Except
terrible advice?
maybe the start of podcasting. Actually, I feel
Because
part of the reason why I like podcasts a lot is there's this because you're talking, right? You're talking to somebody and everything, and it's I mean, even remotely or what, at least you're talking to a real human being, which is something we rarely do these days, lah. Mostly it's chats or WhatsApp and everything, and it's very easy to forget how to really talk to people and everything, lah. So maybe starting a podcast with your buddies is not a bad idea also, lah.
I mean, I guess what I would say right now is that, I mean, over time you realize that whatever you may have thought you're alone in, you're not. I mean, not to say that go find other people like that and start an incel group or something.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think now more than ever, there's more than one definition of what is sexy, what is cool, what is interesting, and kind of try to embrace that somehow. Yeah, if that makes any sense at all.
Embrace the fact that there are many avenues for you to find a niche for yourself in life, right? That's what you're saying. And also,
like, growing up for our generation, being like, like cool and popular and all was like, okay, certain attributes, like, good looking, athletic, play sports and all this shit. But now, and that was what in my mind was, to be popular you have to do this. But now you see so many instances of people being popular for for so many things that are nothing to do with their looks, nothing to do with their athletic ability, nothing to do with, and it's just something they are fucking passionate about, or something that is uniquely them lah. And I think you can be cool just by focusing on that lah. Yeah, and I guess for so I think that's probably just one of the many pieces of advice that I'm sure are out there lah.
Yeah. I think it's probably also just not to never go into don't go into an activity or even a relationship with a person with the expectation that you need to be liked or loved or anything lah. You know. Yeah, I think that's when people can sense that kind of like that desperation and all that on you as well. Whether it's you're joining a new group activity or you're like, getting to know someone and all that. Don't put all your eggs in that one basket lah. Basically, that's all I'm saying. And treat it like it sounds a bit like too casual, but almost treat it like this is the game of life lah, right? Where certain groups you enter, you won't be liked, you get kicked out, but certain other groups you enter, you're loved by everyone and you hang out, you like everyone. Same as relationships. Certain relationships, you meet this person, you get along well, and so don't put all the eggs in one basket thinking that this is it, this is the one that I must put all my energy into and all that, right? Because you got your whole. Remember, our lifespans, the human lifespan has grown like exponentially only in the past like 50 to 70 years of human history lah. So back then humans, we living past 50 was a huge achievement, So maybe you meet one person, that's really that one person for life that you ever meet and all that, right?
Well, I feel we need some like inspirational music in the background. This is getting a like Jay Shetty and like that kind of vibe,
Yeah. No, I think
you can be you. Okay, you do you, and the world will cherish you for who you are and not who you should be.
I'm just trying to sound a bit more. If people are gonna take anything away, also at least something interesting lah. Because I was just listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan, and there's a lot of interesting things that they say in there. They make you think largely about life in general and how you should live your life and all that also lah.
That's a good podcast. I'm about halfway through now. Also.
Yeah. It's good, but
lah. Cool.
So that's where we are.
Cool.
KiaraaKitty.
All right. KiaraaKitty. Yeah, let's just see how the story develops.
That's
cool.
right. Yeah.
All right. And then now that brings us to our third segment, the One Shiok Comment of the week.
Yes. What is
yours, man?
My One Shiok Comment of the week actually is again from the
YouTubes,
Yes, the YouTube lah. Because I feel like it's quite interesting what the things that people are very focused on YouTube lah, right? As in, once there's something more than just the audio experience, there's a few comments like Ronald Zie just said, "Oh, didn't realize Terence is sipping some nice cold beer while during the podcast." So once in a while I am having a beer or a Coke or something, and no wonder the podcast sounds so good. And then
did they say that, or did
they said that? They said that. And then Ryan1102 was saying that I gotta say Haresh's house looks really clean and comfy, while Terence has a really bold background. Laugh my ass off. So that I accept that's part of it. And also I think someone also said that we need to change our profile pic because I look different from the profile pic already. I'm guessing you're saying my chin has disappeared in the ensuing years since and it's true. My face has become like a blob, like what was that pink color character in SpongeBob?
I have no idea.
I forgot his name already. But basically my head shape has become like that for a while. So it's just funny just seeing some of these comments. On YouTube. It's not one in particular, but it's just in general everyone's starting to realize that we're actually human beings with like faces and everything also.
Then if it's not just one, then what are we going to put in the link in the show notes?
I'll send you one lah, don't worry lah. The more entertaining one. Yeah.
Okay. My One Shiok Comment is a Instagram story that that someone tagged us in. It was by papadam.3gp. And he just shared a video of him doing his regular skipping workouts and listening to Yalabat.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just
was he skipping on a deck of a boat or something? Like a ship?
Oh shit, he is.
He is, right? So,
oh my god.
Is he the same fabled person who crossed the Suez Canal and everything? And this is just part of his daily exercise or something like that?
Oh shit.
It might be, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
So
I guess if you're listening to us, papadam.3gp, are you the same person on Reddit, or do we have more than one sailor in our midst?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's just fucking like listening to us while skipping. Oh shit, that is cool, man.
Yeah.
That is cool. That is
awesome.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
There's another activity that I can add to my list of activities that people do while listening to Yalabat lah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
right now the list is growing.
Yes.
There's a growing list.
But,
All right, cool.
So what is your one shiok thing of the week?
My one shiok thing is I started rereading this book I read like last year, I think, called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I hope I haven't shared it as a one shiok thing before.
No, don't think so.
Yeah, so I mean, I had heard a lot about that book before I read it last year. And last year it kind of blew my mind because it is a very simple read with very simple pointers that really make you think, and it doesn't come from the the high horse personal guru kind of thing that Terence was just on. That kind of like, I'm writing this book because I figured out the secret to life and you have to listen to me. Yeah, that I always get like, I don't want to read that kind of book. But this book is actually very entertaining. The guy is an awesome writer. He swears and just does a very good job of getting the message across without sounding overly preachy lah. And I fucking love it lah. And I recently read it because it does teach certain things like the importance of now everyone's being overloaded with so much shit, right? And learning how to prioritize what you care about and what you don't get triggered by, I think, is more important than ever. And I think this book is good. I like it.
The art of
the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
I see. Okay.
That's cool. Yeah. And what is your one shiok thing?
My one shiok thing actually is just generally watching the NBA playoffs now. Like literally today, the LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. So there's a real changing of the guard going on in the NBA lah. So all the new, up and coming players of the last 2-3 years are now the players. They're leading their teams past LeBron, past the older stars lah, past Damian Lillard, for example, the Portland Trail Blazers. So similar to how we also see that happening in Barcelona and Real Madrid now. We see this sort of like changing of the guard happening in the basketball world, and this will be the first NBA Finals without either Steph Curry or LeBron James in I don't know, like 6 years or 7 years or something like that lah. So some crazy statistic, and all the teams that are through now. The last one to win the championship was the Dallas Mavericks in 2010 lah, more than like almost 11 years ago lah. So it's like in the last 10 years we talk about dynasties and all that nonsense, but now it's about a new future for these teams already. So it's a exciting time to be a fan, and then also like just seeing the changing of the guard happening in front of us. Also, still admiring what the old guard did before lah, but you have to be a bit wistful about what they're able to, what they're right now, like you're just watching them lose quite badly lah. Yeah,
I mean, it's like football also lah. Like Champions League final, no Cristiano Ronaldo, no Messi.
Yeah,
and like
correct.
The changing of the guard.
No, and it was fantastic that it wasn't even like Pep Guardiola also. Yeah, it hasn't been able to win it with Man City also lah, right? The Champions League,
yeah.
So even I consider him like that previous generation with Messi and everything also of coaches and all that, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time.
yeah, man, it is a very interesting time.
So yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
hopefully this whole COVID mess will be sorted out soon. Then we can actually do that, in face-to-face interviews with the people we need to interview.
I thought you meant like COVID mess as in the general global COVID mess, but you just mean my COVID situation.
Yeah, your COVID situation.
I see. I was like, yo, Terence, whatever we said is going to be endemic, okay?
Yeah, no, it's going to be with us until 2024, let's face it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be with us forever. We just need to learn to deal with it, understand?
Yeah, correct. Now it's just more the logistics of when someone has it, like where they need to hide and everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. If you liked it, please share it with at least one other person. And talk to you all soon.